Alright, what's up agents? Afflicted Gamer here and welcome back to the Division 2. So the patch notes are here for Phase 2 of the PTS and this is everything that is coming next season. They've made quite a few changes. I have read over this a couple of times now as every time I go to publish this video, there's constant noise in the background. For those of you that don't know, I do take care of my aunt who had a stroke, so if you hear the dog or you hear anything, I give up. I have to just get this done. I am terribly sorry. Um, Also, I will summarize some of what I already know here so we don't have to read everything, and this video won't be any longer than it has to be. If I was to put everything in a nutshell, they made the PvE Dark Zone much harder. You can't cleanse yourself by going to a safe house before going to the extraction anymore. You now need to get a canister, which has a 33% chance of a drop rate from a landmark, and you need that to call in the extraction. They've adjusted the hunter fight. I don't know if they've made him stronger or weaker, it doesn't clarify that, but there's a 2% chance that he will drop you an Eagle Bearer or Ravenous, and he will drop you an exotic component, which is pretty cool upon defeating him. But the fact that you can't cleanse yourself and you are stuck in there is, well, doesn't sound fun. So let's get to it. Everything else is the same. You'll have the dark zones on rotation. Two will be normal, just like how they are right now. And then one will be the toxic dark zone. So right here, apologies for the cough. Landmark chests now drop sample canisters as contaminated cache items. These work like regular contaminated items and must be extracted. Calling the extraction helicopter in the toxic dark zone now requires a stabilization agent, which has a 33% chance to drop from landmark chests. Toxicity no longer resets when entering a dark zone safe house. Instead, the current toxicity value is frozen while inside. So I guess if you want to go in there, it's not going to go up if you need to change anything around, but you're not going to cleanse yourself anymore. Yeah. Toxicity debuffs have been reduced. It doesn't say by how much here. Toxicity Dark Zone Hunter difficulty has been adjusted. Like I mentioned a moment ago, Toxic Dark Zone Hunters now guarantee one exotic component each. So if there's multiple hunters there at the extraction, each one will drop a component. And a 2% dedicated chance to drop Eagle Bear or the Ravenous. So for those of you saying there's no good loot in the PvE DZ, there's a small chance of something now at least. Sample canisters, gains, and costs have been adjusted. See, I didn't see canisters in the first one, and I did get a comment saying game dev here, sorry, but you didn't get to try out the canisters. That's coming in the second PTS, so I still have to check that out. All right, the vendors have also been given an overhaul. So DZ East recalibration caches are 40 DZ credits, optimization caches are 60 DZ credits. If we go over to DZ West, exotic component caches are 120 DZ credits. You get four of them. And reconstructed caches 180 DZ credits. At DZ South, the prototype core caches are 125 DZ credits, and prototype caches are 260 DZ credits with a higher chance for better or perfect stats, which is pretty cool. So, and right here, full updated vendor inventory for all vendors. So we've got skill mods for 40 DZ credits, gear mods for 40 DZ credits, high-end gear pieces for 60 DZ credits, high-end weapons for 70 to 72. Why not just make it 70? I don't know. Gear set piece 64 to 65 again. Why not just make it one or the other? Named weapon or named gear piece 90 DZ credits, exotic cache 130. And then here we go. DZ East vendor, recalibration cache, 40 DZ credits, so it's the same as the cache that you get from global events. 70 ceramic, steel, 65 electronics, and then titanium. Optimization cache, 60 DZ credits. You get everything you would in a regular optimization cache. Don't need to read all of this stuff out to you. The exotic cache, exotic components cache, 120 DZ credits. You get 4 exotic components, which is cool. Reconstructed cache gives you 1 random blueprint, named and DZ exclusive, or it could be a weapon, DZ exclusive, which is cool. Then at DZ South, 125 DZ credits for a prototype core cache. You get 1 core and then 260, like I said, for the gear. All right, and then for the rest here, uh, not a whole lot else to really talk about. The global PvP balance here, they're discussing changes that they are going to make in the future, and they're going to revisit different gear sets like Striker, Cavalier, Core Strength, Negotiator's Dilemma, Ongoing Directive, Bighorn, Strega, Backfire, Pestilence, and a bunch of other stuff. So we'll see what they end up doing with those modifiers. So they've made adjustments to these. If I mispronounce any, sorry. Pneuma? The surge effect no longer depends on the weapon used to apply stacks. For example, Inhale can now be triggered by headshot kills with any weapon, not only marksman rifles, rifles, and pistols. Soporific toxicity now only increases when Soporific applies Disorient through its own effect instead of increasing on every hit. Plague Doctor, it now affects health only instead of health and armor. Really? Okay. Active and hostile modifier values have been adjusted across multiple areas. All right, now escalation. Here, let me turn my light on here. They made some adjustments to escalation, which some people might not like. But right here is the tier list of the cost, what the leader will pay, what the leader gets as profit, and then what the group gets as profit from tier 0 all the way to 10. So it shows your cost. Tier 0 is obviously 0, 1 is 1, 2 is 4, 3 is 8, and so on. You can pause the video right here if you want to see this, but these are the new numbers for how many tokens you'll get if you're the leader for profit, and how many the group will get. So it will be a little bit different. Then we have the requisition vendor. Escalation requisition vendor prices have been updated to match the new token balance. So the random prototype caches will cost 10 escalation tokens now. The prototype gear cache will cost 20. Same thing with the weapon cache, 20 escalation tokens. I think right now it's 5 and 10 for the two, for the random and then the gear slash weapon. So yeah, those went up. New gear, weapons, and talents. So this is for everything that's coming next season. So the Ortiz reinforce gear set, the 4-piece talent, rapid application, nanite prototype. I'm sorry, it's such a mouthful. Healing duration and radius reduced by 75% from 90%. Healing efficiency increased by 100% to 150%. See, when I see the arrow going from 100 to 150, I think of an increase, not a decrease, how the top one says there. The chest talent, overcharged nanites, increase the healing efficiency bonus from 100% to 150%, then 150 to 225. Backpack talent, improved dampeners, decrease the duration and range reduction from 75% to 25%, and 90% to 25%. Okay. The Caduceus Exotic AR. So the talent, initially it was 1.5% of the hits dealt damage would return as healing. That's now 2%. So minor buff, but I'll take it. Magazine mod, 20 rounds, now 40 rounds. Okay, that's fine. Underdog exotic SMG. I have not seen this thing, so it says here that the underdog, or sorry, underboss, not underdog, underboss has been added to the Year 8 Season 2 gear cache, and its PTS Notes version had no mods. It will now have an optic, providing an extra plus 15% crit chance. Alrighty, so there you have it. Other than that, here, additional updates, prototype gear, prototype core costs, upgrading prototype augments have been increased because they weren't expensive enough. Maxing out one item now costs 46 prototype cores, up from 31. Yeah, awesome. Retaliation, a new threat may now ambush you during retaliation. Stay alert. There you have it. I think this is going to make a lot of people upset. That's my prediction. But something I'm going to say that I didn't say during the PTS 1 video, kindly don't shoot the messenger and shoot the hate towards me. I'm just explaining, showing you what is coming next season. This none of this stuff is my idea. I didn't do it. I'm just giving you the facts. All right, so please don't throw the hate towards me. But if you could be so kind and drop a like on the video, that's very much appreciated. If you're new to the channel, I hope you'll consider subscribing. The views have been incredible lately. Thank you guys so much. It would be awesome if you guys hit the subscribe button. We can get up to 22.3K. That would be great. And then work our way towards 25,000. That would be awesome. But I really do appreciate all of the support I do get. I want you guys to know that. Links for Twitter, Discord, all the good stuff are down in the description. Other than that, I am genuinely looking forwards to reading your comments down below once you finish the video. I'm sure it'll be good. Please keep it civil. See you guys in the next one.